Hi, this is from the channel. You know how humans have been called the silliest of creatures because we do all these complex things that make no sense. Well, they're another species out there that's even more ridiculous than us, and they also much cooler. We're talking about tortoises, of course, and their weirdness has to do with the way they breathe. You see, almost all land vertebrates breathe with lungs. That's basically all of the critters that live part or all of their lives on land. Like us, except for a few like salamanders and caecilians that rely on their skin to absorb oxygen instead. But for most animals, including turtles and their extinct relatives, breathing through the skin just isn't efficient enough to support an active lifestyle. So they evolved lungs. Except the problem is that even with lungs, turtles can't really breathe unless they're in water, in their native habitats. Most of these relatives of modern-day turtles were aquatic, like sea turtles are today. They'd hang out in marshes, rivers, and lakes, using their gills to absorb oxygen from the water. But when they came up to air, like to lay their eggs on land, they needed a way to keep getting oxygen while they were away from the water. So they developed adaptations to use their lungs to breathe. The problem was, it seems that these early turtles still had some sort of gill-like structure inside their bodies. And when they tried to breathe air, those structures would fill up with fluid, preventing them from getting any oxygen. Like, if you were trying to breathe and every time you inhaled you filled up with water, you would end up drowning. And that's what happened. Over the last 200 million years, multiple groups of turtles have independently evolved to fix this problem. Each time starting over from scratch, they got rid of those gill-like structures, becoming the first tetrapods to ever do so. They became the first vertebrates that could truly breathe air. It is a major reason why they've been around for so long and why they're refound everywhere today. But one thing that's super weird about their success is that it took a whole lot of genetic changes to make it happen. When scientists compared the genomes of several turtle species, they found that it required more than 40 genes working together to get rid of those gills. And the weird thing is that a lot of these genes seem to be related to breathing at all. Like some of these genes play a role in building shells, others help determine an animal's sex. Some control how cells process instructions from their DNA, and others are involved in things like building feathers or regulating body temperature. Even weirder, some of these genes seem to be involved in making sure that other genes do and get turned on. Like imagine a light switch that turns off all the other switches in the room. Kinda seems like it would be easier to just turn off the lights and not have to rewire the whole house. But it looks like all these genes working together might have given turtles an edge in other ways, too. For example, having fewer genes expressed might mean less metabolic energy is needed, and that could be related to why turtles are so slow. They have slower metabolisms than other reptiles with similar body plans. Of course, being slow has its advantages. It helps them conserve water and survive in dry environments. It also means they don't need as much food to survive. And generally, the slower you are, the longer you tend to live. After all, the fastest land animal on the planet, cheetahs, only live up to 15 years or so. The slowest land animal on the planet, the tortoise, can live up to 100 years or more. So the secret to a long life might be related to not breathing very fast. So maybe we should take some cues from these goofy-looking creatures and learn to breathe less. Well, maybe not that last part. Although breathing slower might actually help with longevity, just don't go too far and end up like this guy. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to help us make more episodes like this, you can join our community on a crowdfunding platform.